Howdy y'all, Christi here with Little Salty Homesteader. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am back with you guys for another weekly garden update. There have been a few changes, and then there are some plants starting to fizzle out with the warmed up temperature. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look at what's going on. So the first thing that we'll take a look at here, of course, is the tomato patch. As you can hopefully see, there are quite a few tomatoes that are growing. Things are getting really wild and jungly. We have been battling quite a bit of spider mite pressure. You can see the leaves. Let me zoom in a little bit. This is from spider mites. You can see on the undersides of the leaves there that the little tiny, those are all spider mites. I've been coming out every day that it's not raining and just spraying everything down really heavily. It is starting to improve, but because we are still getting quite a bit of rain, it is a slow, tedious process to try to get these numbers under control. But for the most part, most of the tomato plants are really healthy and doing really well. Because it is starting to heat up quite a bit. Yesterday was 93. I think these nasturtiums are going to start fizzling out. They don't do well whenever it is super hot. So you can see they're starting to get yellow and die back some. Once they are either just struggling too badly or they completely die, I will just rip the plant completely out. I will be starting some dwarf varieties of zinnias soon that are an incredibly heat tolerant variety, and I'm going to start enough to be able to put in my front and back flower bed and then throughout the vegetable garden as well to keep on attracting those pollinators. So yes, nasturtiums will be replaced with dwarf zinnias. The marigolds, as you can see, do have some spider mite stuff going on, but overall they look really good. Sorry, did not mean to bump my phone there. You can see cucumber plant here. It's not like overly giant. What I'm going to attempt to do is cascade it down the bed so that it'll be easier for me to find the cucumbers once they do start setting. I did that in that raised bed over there and it's working out pretty well. That's pretty much most of the update for this bed, except I want to show you this eggplant plant. So looky here. So we have a spider, if you can see a cute little guy there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eggplant, maybe 6 growing on one single plant. Then we have eggplant starting to set on this one. The other ones don't have any fruit set yet. We're battling the spider mites really badly and little tiny grasshoppers. Tomatillos. I think we might start seeing some tomatillos grow soon because you can see how kind of crazy those have been going with the blooming. I have harvested a whole 4 cherry tomatoes off of this roselle plant here, off of that the very bottom cluster down there. So we do have cherry tomatoes starting to ripen. The sakura that I broke, it is slowly starting to grow here. As you can see, the spider mites are doing spider mite things. So again, heavily spraying these off every day. You can do an insecticidal soap, Castile soap, something like that on both sides of the leaves. I have not done it. It would take me 3 days to do a garden this size. So I've just been sticking with the high pressure water hose on the water hose nozzle, and that seems to be working pretty well for me. This bed is just really lush, mostly really healthy. This Black Beauty, the one that has been giving me drama all year, the shoot that grew off of the bottom of the plant is healthier than the original plant, so I don't know what's up with that. we do have some blooms here. It is a little bit cooler today than yesterday, so hopefully we do get some fruit set on that. This unknown plant, I'm not sure what type it is. Spider mites did do quite a bit of damage. I need to come in and prune, but you can see that it does have several tomatoes on it. So it is a pretty prolific little mystery plant, whatever it may be. Now, looks like Dark Galaxy is starting to set some fruit, so that's exciting. Again, the nasturtiums are going to be fizzling out all across the garden because of the rising temperatures. This one does not actually have a cucumber growing in it. The roly-polies ate every single seed that sprouted. So we went from 7 attempted cucumber for pickles down to 6, which is okay. And we have Romas still growing along. Quite a few Romas. Again, spider mites. I need to come in and do some pruning. The Marglobe does have some fruit set as well, if you can see right here. So there we go. Oh, got caught in the trellis in there. Okay. I'm so sorry. Allergies are really kicking my butt right now, so my voice sounds a little weird. It feels a little weird. Everything is kind of settled in my chest, and I've been coughing like crazy today. So I do apologize for that if I do have a coughing fit. This is the Super Sue plant. And I know I showed you guys this last week, but I'm still just marveling at how prolific this plant really is. It is absolutely amazing. We really have quite a lot of slicer varieties just growing all the way down this bed. And so far, I have not seen any sort of rodent problems. I have seen pests, spider mites, grasshoppers, things like that, but I have not seen any signs of rodents. So I'm really happy about that. Woolly Kate, I'm gonna try to get close to that for you guys so you can see. Little fuzzy tomatoes, so fun. And then over here, okay, so one note about the Rebel Starfighter Prime plant. The plants are so wispy. Like, these over here are so leafy. Like, you really have to look for the tomatoes. These are the direct opposite. These are really wispy little plants. Like, the leaves are really, wispy. But I do have tomatoes growing, and they look really good. I'm really excited to see them. I think there's 5 or 6 on here. So we will have some Rebel Starfighter Prime tomatoes happening here. This mystery plant, I'm still not 100% sure what this is, but they're growing. Spider mites really got a hold of this one, so I'm not sure how much more fruit set I'll get out of this plant, but again, this is just a case of me coming through and spraying everything with high pressure water. I need to take the time to come out and do a heavy prune on stuff to get rid of like the damaged, sick branches. Then we have Sart Rolois, however we want to say that. There's several tomatoes right there. We have another one. Nope, that is Thorburns Terracotta, I believe. So Thorburns Terracotta really starting to get quite a bit of fruit set. And then this Thorburns Terracotta is just almost just like fully loaded. We have some more over here. I think this one's gonna start getting ripe, and it will ripen to about that shade, but like more orange. This Italian heirloom, I probably need to go ahead and harvest it just to make sure no pests or anything get to it before I do. But because it's still growing and it hasn't ripened yet, show you this big monster right here. That is a big monster. And then over here, we still have Japanese black truffle. And then, I'm not really sure the order of these tomatoes. I know that there is a giant Syrian growing over here, a Texas Star, giant crimson. There's also a Costaludo Genovese, which I could point out easily because that's this fluted one right here. There's also, we have another one starting to get ripe here. Druzhba, which are like miniature beefsteak tomatoes. And there's also black from Tula, which is this one on the end. This one, I did prune a lot of branches off of it yesterday. It's been getting hammered by spider mites. Some of them seem to be more susceptible to spider mites than others. It's really interesting. But overall, aside from the spider mites, the tomato patch doesn't look too bad. It looks quite good. I'm really pleased so far with how this tomato season is turning out. Okay, so over here is the sweet peppers, and then the okra, and then miscellaneous jungle plants in the middle. They're not really from the jungle, it just looks really lush and vibrant and such. So things are really starting to grow a lot better. The okra is really starting to get some height on it, which makes sense because it does well in the heat. The borage, this one looks like it's about to bloom, so that's really good. We have banana peppers, banana peppering. I have harvested a few already. I need to harvest some more. I am going to be pickling them pretty soon. And then this is a calendula, looks like it might bloom soon. So that one's probably ready to harvest, and then there's probably a couple more. So with the sweet peppers, it's better to harvest them early in the morning, before the heat of the day makes them bitter. It's also better to harvest just before the rain, so the rain doesn't water down their flavor. Look at this radish. It's starting to flower. Really cute. Cucumber, as I was saying, I'm letting it trellis out. And you can see here, we do have little baby cucumbers here. I'm hoping those actually got pollinated and it's not just getting my hopes up for sadness later. And then we have the second vine growing down right here. And then bell peppers really starting to grow here. Looks pretty good. There are several varieties of basil in here. They're all doing really well, trying to go to flower. That's okay. It'll attract some pollinators to help those cucumbers. This is the blue spice basil, and the reason why I wanted to point this out was to show you guys the flowers on them are lavender and coral, and I just think that is so darling. And it smells so good. Even with my allergies and stuff, I can smell this, and it's just amazing. So, okra. Not 100% sure what basil that is, but it has a purple flower head, so that's cool. More okra. Marjoram kind of hiding here. Okay, the squash. Okay. Every beginner gardening video you watch that says plant these plants now for garden success will tell you to plant squash because it's so easy to grow. Yes, typically, unless you have 7 million roly-polies like I did, because they ate that seedling again, and they ate that seedling again. You can see where they cut it down. This one is growing for now. It seems okay. And then we have this one that's it looks like it has started blooming, maybe. It's finally starting to put on lots of good leaves. This would be the time that I need to come check for squash bug eggs. So those would be on the undersides, which I don't see any, but you have to be really diligent about that. And then we have more, this is lemon basil here. We have more okra, more of the blue spice basil. I think this is just Genovese basil, but it's really tall. And then there's a few varieties of basil kind of mixed in together here, because you can see there's purple ruffles down there as well, and a giant radish with roly-polies actively eating the radish. Thank you. And a mushroom growing off of the side of it. Okay. I'm gonna move around here. Let's see. No bell peppers. These were the purple beauty bells. Nothing actively growing on that one just yet. This one is Ajvarsky, I believe, and it's still just growing along. I do have the cucumber vine set to come out here. Maybe. Thank you. All right, there. Now it's coming out, so that again, if it starts blooming and pollinating, I can find those pickles a little bit easier. Violet Sparkle. This actually is a bit bigger than I was expecting it to be. I mean, I'm not upset about it. So it was just an interesting thing. I thought it was gonna be a little bit smaller, kind of like the lunchbox peppers, but they're a little bit bigger. And then mystery peppers. They haven't started ripening, so I don't think that they are shishito like I was originally thinking. Maybe they're pepperoncini type peppers, which again, I didn't plant that. This was supposed to be mulatto isleno, which is like a brown poblano type. It just keeps getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. So I'm not totally 100% sure. And then Lesia. Is looking a little wrinkly, but it feels nice and firm, so I think it's okay. But that's kind of what's going on in these beds. Very lush and grown. Again, once these nasturtiums fizzle completely out, they will be replaced with dwarf varieties of zinnias. The dwarf varieties that I will be planting were tested by the Dallas Arboretum in their test gardens to see exactly how heat tolerant they are. So they passed those trials, and the Arboretum gave them the classification that they give to those plants that meet the requirements for surviving the Texas summer heat. So those will go in here again to attract pollinators and just kind of give a spot of beauty, because in the middle of the summer it makes it really hard to get out here and do work if they aren't, you know, if there's nothing pretty to look at while you're out here. Okay, moving on. Sunflowers are sunflowering. These volunteers, man, they're putting on a show. So there's just 2 plants here, and look how many flowers are up there. Like 6 or 7. There's 5 on just that one, and then 1 here and 1 there. So really exciting. Lots of other sunflowers that are growing, so they'll be catching those soon. I'm also going to be planting some more sunflowers for the front and back flower beds. They're a shorter variety, and I'm going to start them and then transplant them out so I don't have to worry about the roly-poly issues. But, you know, it's just the battles we fight as gardeners. One pest or another, right? Okay, so this flower bed is really starting to bloom really well. Lots of different colors of zinnias. The marigolds are blooming. We have some snapdragons blooming really well. I think there's cosmos that are starting to bloom. It's really filling in and not looking so bare and sparse. Coreopsis, Plains Coreopsis is that variety, and I need to come out and deadhead it because as you can see, it bloomed a whole lot and now there's nothing left really. Okay, so let's chat about this part for a minute. So on Saturday, the top 2 tiers of the green stalk fell off and into this flower bed. It did damage some of the plants. It did not damage any of the pepper plants. We had 2 peppers that fell off as a result, but the plants are fine. As you can see, they're growing pretty well. Got really lucky. It could have been a whole lot worse. But yes, it damaged a couple of plants in here. And then I do have some powdery mildew starting to show up on this side. And then it kind of kaput that sunflower, that volunteer sunflower that was growing there. That's okay. And then, you know, the stems of a couple of flowers, they'll bounce back. It'll be fine. They'll just bloom a little later than they were going to. Diablo Cosmo. Let's see if I can get that to clear up. It's really windy, so the flower won't sit still. There we go. Diablo Cosmo. The amaranth is doing really lovely over here. That one is the Hopi red dye, and then that one is the Love Lies Bleeding. They're both really cute. We have geraniums starting to bloom again. Lily's little flower bed is growing along. We really had roly-poly issues for everything this year, so her little flower bed suffered quite a bit for it. So whenever I start some of my stuff, I'll put some in hers as well. She does have a few sunflower sprouts. Nasturtium, I'm not sure how much that's gonna grow. Calendula, Cosmo, I think that might be a zinnia, so she might have a couple of things that come to fruition. Beans and cowpeas, as you can see, looks pretty good. I do have lots of little bush beans that are starting to grow here. Let's see if I can get that to clear up. There we go. Lots of little bush beans that are starting to appear on the plants. So that's really exciting. The cowpeas haven't started blooming yet. I think that they kind of like the heat more. So sorry, excuse me. They like the heat more, so I'm just kind of waiting that out, trying to keep the spider mites off of them. I am fertilizing everything every about 10 days right now with liquid fertilizer. Looky here. That one plant has so many little beans growing on it. That's awesome. Okay, we already talked about this pepper green stalk. If you watched the video that I put out on Monday, it kind of discusses what happened, what the issue is. I don't know how to fix it necessarily, but the pepper plants are all fine. I changed the order of some of the tiers to kind of keep any more from falling. So this one used to be on the top, and then this one used to be the second tier, but the tier that was the third tier is now on top because, as you can see, it has some swelling or some sort of issue going on with it. But we have lots of peppers growing. Things are doing okay. It'll be fine. We're still gonna have peppers this season. We've harvested a few of the Buena Mulatas. I had one on my eggs the other day. Unfortunately, I couldn't taste it because of the allergy situation. So I don't know if it was good. My husband says that they've been really good. And then we have this new one here. This one was my Mother's Day gift, and it is fully planted with strawberries. We ordered bare root strawberry plants, and there's 3 different types in here. There's Honeyoy and Sparkle and Ozark Beauty. Sparkle and Honeyoy are both June bearing, so I don't expect any strawberries from them at all this year, but I did want to get them in and get them established so that next year we're ready to rock and roll. And then Ozark Beauty, we may get some. So they're really starting to put on some greenery, so that's really exciting to see. I will need to come out and trim the tree so that this top tier will get a little bit more sun. But I had 45 tomato plants and this holds 30, so there's 15 scattered throughout the rest of the garden. There's 3 in this planter, there's 1 there, there's 1 right there, and then there's 3 here, 1 there, some in there with the beans, 1 there, and then 1 more in Logan's other little planter there. So we kind of have strawberries kind of all over the patio, which is great. As they start to set fruit, we'll be able to come out and harvest our own little snacks, which is awesome. Lime tree, I do actually believe that I'm gonna get some limes because that's the biggest one that I've had so far. If they don't pollinate, it will fall off, which I don't see any in there that have fallen off. So maybe I will have homemade, homegrown margaritas this year. Pretty exciting. Then you can see the cucumbers starting to bloom over here and over here, kind of cascading down the side of the green stalk. And then okras are growing pretty well, the cinnamon basil, and then mint. Of course the mint's going to grow well. And then sideways marigold growing over here. What's really interesting about this one is that it has 2 different colored flowers. So it has these orange ones, and I'm pretty sure this is the same plant. It might be 2 different plants, maybe. I don't know. Either way, I have orange marigolds and yellow ones. The yellow ones are growing sideways. I'm just letting it happen. Sunflower here. It's actually going to be opening up soon. So that's cool. I'm trying to get it to focus. I'm sorry. Okay. And then the peppers over here, I don't think that they've started blooming yet. I expect them to be a little bit more slow growing because they do get quite a bit of shade, which is fine. Last year I grew habaneros on this same side of this green stalk, but it was farther that direction, and we were able to get habaneros all through the heat of the summer when all the other pepper plants were really struggling. So I think that'll be okay. Chamomile, I need to come out and harvest the flowers. I've been harvesting every day, and Lily keeps asking, do we have enough for tea yet? I'm like, I don't know, but it smells like apples, so I think it'll be pretty delicious tea. But overall, everything is looking pretty good, even with the spider mite issue, and the temperatures getting higher and the green stalk falling over. Everything is looking pretty good. Okay, so just a quick note. I did not film us building that or planting that. We set it up Friday night whenever it was dark. Sorry, it's really windy and the wind chime is going crazy. We tackled the project as a family. We were all out here. The kids helped lift the bags of soil, and Jake helped lift the bags of soil. Everybody helped stack all the tiers up and everything. So we didn't really think to film it. We were just kind of enjoying that family moment, spending time together. Sometimes it's just really nice to just focus on that little bit of quality family time, especially since it's the end of the school year and everybody's so busy just trying to get through awards and field day and class parties. And Logan is graduating 5th grade, and Logan crossed over from Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts, and it's just been insanely busy. So it was nice to just have that time that we were just spending time together doing a family project. So gonna hold the wind chime. So that's all that I have for you guys today as far as the weekly update goes. Please keep an eye out for future videos because I do have some seeds coming in, so I'm gonna do an unboxing for you guys, and then of course more weekly updates, and I will be doing a monthly garden tour next week as well. The full thing, going through the whole garden. See if I can finish out this video without... Okay, but anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you did like this video and you want to see future weekly updates, please like and subscribe and do all of the different YouTube things. It is greatly helping me out. But until next time, go find a way to get those garden manicures. Bye!